up, and 3 boys. One is Fuchs. Fuchs found his mother in Chernovitz. Later on I'll tell you the story. And this is Vygotsky in the middle. Vygotsky, they were 3 brothers. She took the Vygotskys. Vygotskys found their father. I didn't find nobody, which I felt sorry for myself until today. Unfortunately, this is how life goes. I didn't find no parents. They were all dead, and sisters. So living by the Kerpers was nice. Sometimes I used to help them in the house, but I was a young child. I might have been more or less maybe 11. By the way, that's a very nice picture, me and my sister. And this I showed you. Was a nice living by the Kerpers. That's my cousin Dvoire, that she was shot with her Dalit looks. This is Mina. This also from the Kerper family. And this is Fuchs that I was saying, that boy that she took. So they took 3 brothers, Fuchs and me. She had five children, 1 son of her own. Mina did not have children. She liked me a lot. I liked her too. So one day she took me in Bucharest during the war. All this is wartime, and this is still, I'm talking about the war. I'm in the wartime. But they took the orphans out of the lager and brought them over. I also learned that there were a lot of volunteers doing all these things. Mina went with me one day to buy me a pair of shoes. And while we were walking in the street, the sirens in Bucharest went off, and I never got the shoes. So unfortunately, I never got the shoes that Mina meant to buy it for me. This is those are my parents. And this probably is my sister. This is the first child. This is my sister and my brother. Maybe I was sick. And this is my grandmother and my mother. My mother Sonia, my grandmother Gold. I don't think if I show this picture. This is me and my sister Menyeche. These were Mina that I showed you. This is Dina that was shot with her husband. Can't think of the name. This is from also my grandparents, the Kleinstädtel. I'll come back to that, but being the time and the pictures, I worked in Russia. I was a very strong girl. I worked in construction. We'll be talking later. This looks how they looked when my grandparents, when they didn't go. It looks to special photographer. This is their shtetl by the house. Now I got to think, where was I? I think I was in Romania. I'm in Romania now. In Romania, while living with the Kerpers, life was nice. It could not have been better. Could have been better. It wouldn't be no war, but what it was just wonderful. It was probably close to almost paradise, but the almost is what was in the middle, unfortunately. What I remember from the Kerpers is the Russians came into Romania. That must have been approximately maybe end 43, maybe beginning 44, somewhere in the 44s about. The Russian government, I was told, demanded all their children, all the orphans should be sent out back to Russia. In between, before that happens, I remember that the Kerpers took me to, first it was a train with children. And then I remember from the train, as we were by Namal. Namal is in Hebrew where the boats go, where the ships go. I can't think of the name, where the ships go off to other lands. You'll know what I mean. I can't think of the word. Anyhow, so when I came to the boat, before going to the boat, I remember that the care person or somebody else sewed in a certain addresses. It had to be very fast to go away, and very fast and slightly secretive. So they sewed in something in my coat lap, whatever I was wearing, a certain address. But when I came, probably to convey to somebody, but when I came to the boat, another girl went down on my name. I was Roza Gershberg, and somebody went in on my name. I never went down on the boat. I was never on the boat. I don't know how I returned back to the Kerpers. That I don't remember. But I do remember what I learned later on in life, that the boat really sank. And the boat, if this is the boat that I had to be on it, so then it was Struma, one of the boats, because Struma was sank with all the children. They never got a destination. The destination actually had to be to Israel. While I was in Lager, there were a couple, I remember, there were a couple of songs, and we were singing, talking about Mamaligis, it was Mamaligi, Mamalai, Lomer Tonsen, Ola Drai, La La, La 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 La, Mamaligi, Mamalai, Lomer Tonsen, Ola Drai. And then it goes, De la Capulu Stalin, Facem Cizme la Berlin, La 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 La. De la Capulu Stalin means, that's in Romanian. I speak Romanian and Russian. My Mamelucian is Yiddish, and the Hebrew I speak, in English as you hear it. French is somewhere in the middle. Not too good, just a little bit. De la capul lui Stalin, facem cizme la Berlin, means that from the head of Stalin, being that there was the war between the Russians and the Germans, we'll make out of his head, we'll make ourselves boots in Berlin. Whatever, it's a song, so I repeated what it was a song. This is what I remember. Then a very nice song was from Romania time, from that time was singing Ach fura heim, will nicht sein, lohnt in dem. Aid bin geboren mit Iden, will sein. I changed a little bit the words. I had to be, being that I'm not a professional singer, you could understand. The lyrics are going a little backwards. The lyrics go, Aid bin geboren mit Iden, will sein, fura heim, heim. Will nicht sein, lohnt in dem. Aid bin geboren mit Iden, will sein, etc. You don't want to hear the whole song. It's, anyhow, there were a lot of songs. A certain, I remember the song we were singing, Auf dem Pripetschig brennt a Feuer, in den Stiepe seis. In der Rebbe, forgot, you see, it goes out. When you come to my age, you'll forget too. Maybe I'll remember later. Anyhow. In der Rebbe lehren kleine Kinderlech, die im Aleph Beis. So more or less, this was my life, and I never got to Israel up to this point while I was in Romania. Sure enough, as I said, that the Russian government wanted to have their children back. I never knew that I was Russian, so I knew that it was more or less Romanian. So they put us on a train. I guess the Romanian government, all the people that took all these children, all these orphans, I mean, and they had to return them to Russia. So I remember